Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. Welcome to Wonderful Wednesday. This is a weekly tutorial series that I do here on my YouTube channel to encourage you to dig into your crafty stash and make something beautiful. This month and next month we're doing Christmas projects, and this week we're featuring G45's Deck the Halls. I did a full overview of this collection where we walked through all the different parts that I bought. I'll link to that up in the corner. But for right now, I want to show you what we're making. Many of you requested that I make cute little treat boxes or small gifts, so that's what we're doing. This is a tag project, which y'all know I love tags. And these are G45. These are their old laser cut square tags that I had in my stash because I was on their design team for so many years, which they have now discontinued, but you can just use a standard square tag. Mine were craft. I painted the edges with a cream paint, just brushed it lightly, and then layered up. I'll show you how this works. So the base is this square tag. Then I took a regular size tag, scored it, and placed it behind this panel of paper to make like a little greeting card here. These would be so cute as hostess gifts, Secret Santa gifts, table favors. They're really adorable. You can see how I've layered up all the different elements here on the front. This little clip holds the flap closed. We've got jingle bells and snowflakes and a wreath and pretty flowers and ribbon. But as everything I do, there is a back side. And on the back, we've built a box. And in the box, I've put a tea party for one. This is one of my favorite projects to make. I love making tea parties in a box, and this is a tea party in a tag. We've got some little pine cones up here with gold string and a little crystal gem. Here's one of the ATC tags. This opens up, it's a little mini note card. You could write a little greeting here. And then on the back, of course, it's got a little picture. We've got Biscoff cookies wrapped up in a scrap of our designer paper. We've got Ghirardelli chocolate. We've got a precious little gold spoon to go in there. This is so pretty and sweet. We've got a honey stick. We've got a King Leo peppermint stick. And we've got a bag of Twinings Christmas tea. And this all fits in here. If you wanted to make this a super duper gift, you could easily tuck in a gift card. So that's an option for those of you who like to give gift cards but are looking for a way to dress them up a little bit. These are not hard to make. They come together pretty quickly, and we're going to make them right now. But look at all the fun designs. I just want to show you these very quickly, and I will have a photo array at the end of this video so you can study the details. But they're just super sweet and just a different little handmade gift. Look, think how cute these would be at a Christmas tea. If you had like a little gift exchange, these would make a great little handmade gift. So lots and lots of fun. Let me clear these out of the way and I'll bring in what we need and we'll get started making our tea party in a tag with G45 Deck the Halls. So we'll just start at the very beginning. Here's that laser cut square tag. These are slightly bigger than the regular square tag, but you could easily substitute in the regular square tag. I did not use the tag die to cut my liners because it leaves a funny, awkward little thing up in the corner. So if you happen to have these in your stash, what I recommend is that you cut a 4 1/4 by 4 inch rectangle of solid cardstock. And this is the red from Maja Design Christmas Nostalgia, which I'm also using. So we're going to make this little flip element. And here's our regular size tag. And again, this is a laser cut tag. I just had it left in my stash from being on the design team. And I've scored a 1/2 inch on the left-hand side. You can use a normal regular size tag and you'll be just fine. I'm going to glue this 1/2 inch flap back behind my panel of paper so that I'm kind of even on both sides. And then I'm going to come in. I cut this piece of designer paper, and when you put this down, because this has a direction to it, you want to make sure that the round part of your die, your regular tag die, is on the right. So we're going to put adhesive on this, and this is cut from the 12 by 12 pad. And I'm going to get this over that grommet first. Okay. And then I'm going to take this part of it and wrap it around the back. That's the easiest way that I found to do this. All right. Then this red panel is going to glue down onto our square tag. Grommets at the top, laser cuts on the right. I'm going to center this up so that it lines up on the left, and you've got this little domed piece over here. I'm going to open this out. Looks like I need to straighten just a little bit. Sometimes that happens. It's hard to, I found it hard to score these tags. I'm going to, this is the reverse side, and this time you want to cut it with your dome on the left. And I'm going to glue this down. So this is all very, very simple. And again, I'm going to go over the grommet first, center it up, and then just secure it like this. That's the easiest way I found to do it. Now, I did do this project assembly line style, which means I die cut all my tag pieces. I did all my painting. I did all of them at the same time. And then I just had my little piles, and I could go through and build my project. So see, now you've got this fun little flip page. On the inside, and I had pieces, oh, on the back side, you also want to glue down a panel the same size. Just like that. Okay. On the inside of this, this is one of the journal cards from the 8x8 paper pad. And this is going to go on the top. And then somewhere, and it ran off on me, but I have a little strip of paper that goes right here. See? And then over here, we just put a little ephemera piece to dress that up a little bit. So to finish this off, I've got this 4-inch strip. This is cut from the 12 by 12 border page. And I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. Like this. So you can write your little message right up here. And then over here, I've got this beautiful ephemera piece. Projects like this are a great way to use up your ephemera. It just always looks terrific. And you just are creating like a little collage with these two elements. Oops, I forgot to pop that little piece out. There we go. I will say this, I love Graphic 45's die cut ephemera because it has this beautiful matte finish, and I really appreciate that. I like it when ephemera has a matte finish. I'm not a fan of the shiny, which most companies have really shiny finish on their ephemera. So that finishes up the inside. That's not hard, right? Now, when we made our tunnel cards, you'll remember that I had circles that I cut out from the tunnel cards. And I've cut these in half. And I'm going to put this down as a layering element on the front. Now, this paper is so pretty. If you didn't want to do anything here except add the flowers and the ribbon and stuff, you'd be fine, and that would be your sentiment. But I just want to show you the way I did it so that when you come to do it, you'll, you'll have a successful experience. I'm going to put pop dots on the back of this ephemera piece. And I'm going to put it down here near the bottom. Then I've got this beautiful ornament and branch. I'll put another pop dot back behind here. That's hard to say. There we go. There we go. And for this, I only need a partial pop dot up on the top, because what we're going to do is layer this over our sentiment. Just like this. Right about here, I think, is good. So what we've done is we've covered up that raw area, and I'm going to take a postage stamp or two, and these are cut from the 12 by 12. I'm going to layer these together. Okay, and I want this pop dot to go up here, and then I'll put adhesive on the rest. So see, we just built a really simple collage. 3 elements is always good. Things in threes are always good. And it makes a really beautiful focal for our front. Now I have a piece of ribbon. I forget how long this was. I want to say it was 20 inches. And this is from Really Reasonable Ribbon. And I'm going to wrap this around the inside of my tag and come up to the top. And I'm just going to tie a very, very simple bow. And then trim the tail. Then before we go any further, I'm going to flip this over and do the back side, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult. Now we're going to build a box pocket. And if you've never done this before, I think you'll be excited to learn how. This is an 8 1/4 by 4 inch piece of 110-pound cardstock. And it doesn't really matter what the color is because we're going to cover it. I'm going to score it at 1 and 2. I'm going to flip it to the other side and score it in 1 and 2. Then I'm going to flip it this way and I'm going to score it at 3 and 2. And so now we've got these scored lines that look like this. I'm going to bring in my scissors, and I like to use bigger scissors for this. I just feel like it goes better. And we're going to completely cut this outside rectangle off on both sides. And when I say rectangle, we've got those two 1x1 squares. So it's 1x2. All right. And I'm just cutting them out along those scored lines. Now I'm going to come on the inside score line and I'm going to cut straight up to the horizontal score line. And I'm going to cut a little triangular piece out of it like that. You don't have to do the triangular piece. I have just found that the box goes together better if you do. All right, so now you look like this. I'm also going to bring in this piece of pattern paper that I've cut to 6 1/4 by 3. And while I have my scoring tool out, I'm going to score this at 1 and flip it and score it at 1 and flip it and score it at 2. All right. And this is going to be the cover for our box. And for this one, we're just going to cut from the vertical line up to the horizontal and then trim out our little triangle. Okay. So now it looks like that. Bring in your bone folder and crease all these scored lines. And if you see a little area like that that's sticking out, go ahead, take your scissors and trim it away. These little legs fold up as one piece. So you have your box face down. You've got the bump side facing you. Flip your legs up. Put adhesive on the legs. And turn this in and adhere that little leg to the bottom of your box. You want your corners to be neat and square. See that? Simple, simple. Fold these flaps in. Place adhesive along about 1 inch. And fold this up. All right, and again, you want everything neat and square. All right, so there's your little box pocket. How cool is that? The last thing I do is come up in the top corner and I cut a little triangle out. And the reason I do that is that it makes the box not show when you glue it into onto your tag. We're going to do the same thing with our patterned paper. See how nice that looks? Now, place your adhesive in these creased areas at the sides. And this will fit right over top of your box. Isn't that cool? I brought in these postage stamps. I'm going to put adhesive along the top of my box. I'm going to start right here. I don't even bother to measure this. This is just a 12-inch. It was a 12-inch strip, but we cut some pieces off of it earlier. Line this up along the top of your box. Bring it around to this side. And then cut. Sometimes you have to come in and trim this little extra bit off the bottom because otherwise it's not going to seat properly, but you should be pretty good. And isn't that a pretty little box? Now bring in your tag. This is the back of your tag again. And you can see I put this, I think it's 3 3/4. Oops, helps if I have the ruler going the right way. Oh, sorry, it's 4 and it's 3. So 4 by 3, and I rounded the corners with a corner rounder punch. And now we're going to put our adhesive on these back tabs of our box. And I'm pretty generous with this because I want this to really stick. And this is going to go right down at the bottom. So I like to stand it up and push it all the way to the bottom. And this is what allows it to stand up for display. It's going to tip now because it's empty, but once you have a couple of things in there, it does really well. Okay, so that is that. Now we can go back to the front. And we're just going to embellish this. So I have this long piece of ribbon. Well, this is twine. This is 7 strands of twine. And I cut it to about 36 inches long. I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to fold it in half again. I'm going to feed these strands through the tag top. I'm going to use see how my fingers have found, and I'm going to make sure this is all straight down here. I'm going to pull this through. Then I'm just going to very simply wrap this around my fingers, pull all these strands through, and tie a knot. Okay, super simple. And then just come in with scissors. I like to make sure this is all lined up. And cut your tassel top. Isn't that cute? And then just pull the legs through the loop. Up here on the top, I'm going to tie this just in a square knot. Okay, trim this. have my little wreath and snowflake on a jump ring. These just slide through these fibers like that. Then we have a beautiful flower. So this is going to go right here. Okay, our little charms come out. Put our little clip here to hold this closed. I tied some jingle bells onto a piece of string. These are going to go right here. So I've added that bow there. And I'm going to add this bow over here. And you can see I pull the legs back and I put the knot right into the glue. And then I use my tonic scissors to hold that in place. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in my flower to go here. And I'm going to put a little glue right here on this knot and put this little crystal gem right here. And I love how that makes it sparkle. So that is the front completed. I'm going to glue down this little snow globe. I'm only going to put my adhesive on the bottom because it's taller than my pocket, you see. And then my buddy Brenda sent me these cute Tim Holtz candy canes. And I'm going to put the little peppermint candy right here to hold that in place. Another leaf and flower. Go right here. So pretty. Just like that. Okay. And then up here, I've got these little pine cones. I'm going to put glue on both sides here. And glue those down. Look how cute. Little bow tucked in between them. And another little gem added right on top of the knot. So this is also a laser cut. And I cut this with the ATC tag die. Got this little candy cane. I just tore it. Half of it is going to go on this side. Sort of like a little belly band, but you can do a small piece this way. I guess I didn't have to tear that one, did I? And now glue your ornaments right over that. See how pretty? Let's back this up all the way to the edge. There we go. Glue that down. That's the front. Then on the back, I took this little piece. This is 4 by 2 3/4, and I scored it in half at 2. Oh, there's the little piece I was going to put. Oh well. And this goes on the back. Super cute. This goes right here. We're going to add our nutcracker right here. This is cut from the 8 by 8. On the inside, I've cut this little 1 3/4 by 2 1/2 inch piece of just cream cardstock, which gives you your place to write a note. And here's your candy cane. And then you just slip ribbon through the top of your tag, okay? So that finishes that, and this is what faces out. So your ribbon is just going to slip through here. This is the wrong size, but it's going to be something like that. All right. And then you just load everything up inside. See a little glue web hanging. There we go. And you don't have to put these items in. You can put in, you know, whatever you like. And then your tag right in the front. So there you have it, friends. 6 really adorable Tea Party in a Box gifts. These are wonderful little surprises. You can put them as stocking stuffers, Secret Santas. You can share it with, you know, the girl who does your nails or the person who cuts your hair, the neighbors. It's just a wonderful little gift, and people are always so delighted with all the little treats that are in the pocket. I will put a link supply list on my blog and a link to my blog in the description box below this video. You will also be able to find basic measurements and score lines there. Not a full tutorial, but just like cut this for this, cut this for this, so you don't have to furiously take notes. I will also link to product within the video itself. You'll see these little boxes that say, for instance, Graphic 45 Deck the Halls. If you click on that, it takes you to an affiliate site where you can purchase the product, which also helps me, but it also helps you find things that sometimes can be hard to find. I'll be back next week with our wonderful Wednesday Christmas project, featuring, I think this time, the Maja Design Christmas Nostalgia. I've got an idea percolating in my head, and I'm anxious to bring it to life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks so much for crafting with me. Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Go get your craft on. Bye.
Snow with a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight.